Hey everyone, Kevin here, and what I'm going to do in this video is share with you a very good WordPress plugin called Zero BS CRM, Zero BS CRM. One of the co-developers of this is Mike Stott, who I met at WordCamp Edinburgh last week, so I had a good talk with him about his product. And you know, the first thing that comes to mind is, why is it called this? He talked about it a little bit. He says that they had thought about maybe changing the name, but he talked about how the fact that lots of people have contacted him, said they love it, and just a few people says they didn't like it, maybe because it's a little bit unprofessional. But you can't deny the fact that what it does is explain what it does. It is a customer relationships manager, and for those of you who have never heard of a CRM, CRMs have become very popular over the last few years. Services such as Salesforce, etc. And there's a lot of companies using them. And essentially what it does is provide a central hub for your business, a place to manage your users, manage your customers, provide invoices, customer data, statistics, all this kind of thing. And normally what you have to do is pay a monthly fee. You have to pay, it can be anything between $20, £20 per month, up to hundreds or even thousands per month, depending on the size of your business and the features you need. With those types of services, you do tend to sometimes pay for features that you don't need. Now, Zero BS CRM, on the other hand, is actually released on a freemium basis. The core version of the product is free. You can download it from WordPress.org or from your WordPress admin area. You can see the name here. Search for that and you'll find it. And what you can then do is purchase extensions. So you can then purchase the extensions you need and then pick and choose the features you need. Now, as I said, this is known as a freemium business model, and I think it normally works out pretty well, because what it means is you're not paying for features you don't need. You pick the options that you need. You don't buy the extensions you don't need. There are extension bundles that do make it a very, very cheap solution, so you don't have to worry too much if you do need to buy a lot of features. So again, the free plugin, I'm going to show you the plugin, I'm going to show you how it works, etc. But again, whenever I recommend anything that is available as a free WordPress plugin, what I recommend you doing is set up a test installation, install the plugin for yourself, try it out, test it, try and break it, see what it can do, see what it can't do. Ultimately, I want to show you guys what this can do, but there really isn't any better test than giving something a try yourself. You know, then you can actually see whether it works or whether it doesn't, whether it does what you need it to do. Mike and the co-founder's name, sorry if I forgot it there, Woody. They also are responsible for Epic plugins. That's the other business. So Mike kindly set up this test area for me. I have installed it on my test area. I've installed it there, but the only difference is I didn't have a lot of data. You know, I didn't have a lot of data, so it's kind of hard for me to show you certain things. So you can see the menu here, Zero BS CRM. When I installed it on my test area, I'm on 2.10.7 at the moment. Maybe this is one version newer. All these things like customers, quotes, invoices, instead of being under one menu, they were all listed down the left-hand side under their own custom post types, etc. So there's two kind of menus. You've got Zero BS CRM at the top, and you've got it down the bottom, labeled as admin. And the version I tested didn't actually say admin at the bottom, and it's got settings, etc. So when you set this up, you go through like a setup guide, and that's one of the great things about this plugin. Many CRMs, when you set them up, they can sometimes take an hour or so to actually get everything working. Zero BS CRM, when you activate the plugin, it's like 4 quick steps asking you what the main settings are as far as the name of your business, name of your company, etc. And then it just sets it all up. It really is about 10 minutes to get it all going. And then what you can do is then go into the settings area and check other things. I'll go back to that in a second, but this main screen will help you see everything that you can do. There's a few extensions installed here, not all of them I don't believe. You can manage your customers. You can see customers there. Customer tags, so you can add tags to certain customers. That's very useful as well, because later on, if you assign certain tags to certain customers, you can then target them for email campaigns, discounts, offers, that kind of thing. You've got quotes. This can handle quotes as well. So here's an example of a quote that you could then send or email or share with a customer. Now, the way it's set up is you can send quotes to customers, but then you can charge them through quotes. You can charge them through the quotes, obviously, give them an idea of what something will cost. You can send them an invoice, and through an extension, you can actually allow them to, pay directly through the invoice. So here's an example of an invoice. You can add your logo, invoice number, invoice date. You can change these fields and move them around, and you can list exactly what you will charge the customer for. Now, there's extensions that allow you to charge. There's an extension, I think it's Invoicing Pro, which I'll show you soon, which allows you to charge the customer for the invoice and charge them directly via PayPal or Stripe. So this is a list of all the extensions available, and the one I was referring to was that one, Invoice Pro. So in the invoice section, this one costs $49 per year, and you can accept through PayPal and Stripe, and you can still manage your invoices after it's been paid. And you can see down here there's a status, draft, unpaid, overdue, things like that. So it's something with that. It's not something that I'm using just now, but it's something that I could actually incorporate into what I do. I still do a little bit of freelance writing for other people from time to time, and that's something I could do to manage invoices, etc. There's lots of other things here, transactions. There's an extension that allows you to import lots of data from WooCommerce as well. Events, you can add users to your team if you want to give people ability to manage your CRM. Other tools for importing data there. Free data tools, extension installed, export. So you can see export customers, invoices, quotes. Sync tools, WooSync, mail campaigns. Now, where's this one? Oh, that's already been sent. Mail campaigns is an extension, and what it allows you to do is, go through all your customers, and then you can do an email mail shot and send them. You can see here, you can choose whether it's a lead, a customer, blacklisted, cancelled by customer, change the value range of what they've spent, tags, invoices. This isn't something that I've tested on a live website. That's something I need to stress. So as far as how, actually using this, I've not did it on a live website. I've tested it on my own test website, and I've tested it here. But you should be able to get an idea of what this kind of plugin does. It's very, very powerful, and most of the functionality, as far as the core functionality, is available in a free plugin. You then just have to pick and choose the extensions that you need to do exactly what you need. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Just tease you with that. So this is the sales dashboard. This is an extension as well. Again, it just helps you manage all your sales. This page does give you a kind of idea of what a CRM is. It's really just about managing your whole business. You can see here you've got your customers, give them quotes and invoices, you can charge them, you've got the sales dashboard, and the fact that it integrates with plugins such as WooCommerce. You can use Contact Form 7 or Gravity Forms to import leads and customer information. It works with Awesome Support. There's an extension for that too, so you can use it as a help desk and then integrate customer tickets and things like that into the CRM. Really, really good. Now, if I go down here to the settings area, the first up until Invoice Builder, that's all the settings that's available in the core version, and these are the 3 plugins extensions that have been added in the test area: Mail Campaign, Sales Dashboard, and WooSync. So, I mean, it's kind of par for course here, a lot of the settings here, but you do get a lot of control. Select your currency, change lots of fields. There's menu options here, file attachments, what's allowed and what's not. You can create custom fields, and you can see there customer fields. You can add as many as you want, and you can rearrange the fields. So if you want to change city to the top, you can do that. Why you would do that, I don't know, but you do have the option to delete and hide certain fields and move things around. Lots of key terms. You can change the language and use a different term for it. So if for any reason you don't like the name quotes, you could call it something else, and it will replace it throughout your customer, throughout your CRM. It would change invoices to something else. For example, you could change invoices to bills. Maybe if that's a term you always use for your customers, that would be more appropriate. Quote builder can be disabled, and the invoice builder. So if you remember the invoice that I showed you before, you can change the default logo so that automatically that logo is always on the invoices, the business name, invoice fields. And these options here are for the extensions that were added. So this is what you would see in your area. It's got a little bit of sample data in there. But really, to give you an idea of what you can do with this, let's look at some of the extensions. So you know that the free version, again, free to download, free to use as many websites as you want, what you need. But the extensions is really what makes the plugin is such a powerful solution. It really does change it from being a useful product to something that could be really transform your business. You can see that they're all priced on a yearly basis. They go from, okay, the CSV Importer Pro is the cheapest at $19 per year, and the Sales Dashboard is the most expensive at $129. Most of them are in the $29, $39, $49 range. So you've got different ones here. This is MailChimp. So if you use MailChimp, you can automate your contacts into your MailChimp email marketing list, put it in there automatically. As I said, awesome support. It's a very good free WordPress. Can't talk today. It's a very good free WordPress plugin. Awesome support. It's essentially a help desk plugin. So if you're using that for your help desk, there's an example of how a customer information would look once you've imported it into CRM. So you can integrate it all so that it's all in sync. If you sell through Envato, you can import your sales history. That's really for sellers. ConvertKit really works just like MailChimp. It's just about, ConvertKit is an email marketing solution, a service, and you can see there that you can import subscribers, and then you can subscribe to a form, add a tag. It's really just integrates it directly in with the ConvertKit service. So if you do use ConvertKit to send out emails and things like that, that's something you might be looking to buy. Bulk Tagger. Now, I think this is something that really, when you get a lot of users, a lot of customers, you've only got a few, if you've not got too many customers, I don't think this is something that would be useful. But when you've got thousands of people and you want to target them, this is where something like Bulk Tagger would be useful. It says here, you can bulk tag your customers based on transaction keywords. For example, all the people that bought t-shirts or all the people that bought jeans. And then you can target those customers based on those tags. So once you've actually assigned customers with certain tags, you can then start targeting them and, really single them out and push promotions and push offers. And, well, you can do anything with it, really. You've really just kind of singled them out and put them into a segment that you can then target. There's an option to retrieve data from Google Contacts. Groove as well. Contact Form 7. So Contact Form 7 and Gravity Forms, both of these are forum plugins. Contact Form 7 is free. There's a lot of extensions available for it. Gravity Forms is a paid solution, but it's relatively cheap to buy it on a single license basis. And both of these can be set up to collect leads and then, pass it through as customer information. If you use Contact Form 7 or Gravity Forms, you might want to look into that. So Stripe, $49 a year, and PayPal and WorldPay, all of these ones are about syncing. So the idea is you've sold a lot of things through PayPal, and on PayPal you will have transactions, you'll have customer information, you will have their email address, their home address, all that kind of information. By using PayPal Sync, you can sync all of that data and keep it in sync with your CRM, so that all the information on PayPal is on your website, it's on your CRM. So I think that's very useful, and it's something, whether you use Stripe, WorldPay or PayPal, that's something that I think would be very useful. That's Invoicing Pro there. CSV Importer Pro, as it suggests, you can import CSV files, spreadsheets, etc. So if you've got a huge database of, say, 10,000 customers, you could import that information into the CRM. Now, mail campaigns, if you're not using external email marketing service, this is one that you might want to consider. It allows you to create lots of emails and send it directly from your CRM. You can filter information, set up emails. It's really as a complete email marketing solution. I showed you that a little bit earlier on. You saw it. Where did we see it? I think it was through here, wasn't it? Mail campaigns. So this was the plugin there, and it retails at $79 per year. There's a lot you can do with that. It's here, powerful personalization, custom HTML emails, tiny monthly cost. Yeah. So really, if you're not using something like MailChimp or ConvertKit, this is probably one of the things you'll be looking at. It's a good way to contact your customers and send them emails, etc. And towards the end, we've got WooCommerce. Again, it's the same idea. You'll retrieve all your transactions and customer information from WooCommerce, which is already in your database if you've got it in the same website. And finally, we've got the sales dashboard, which shows you a lot of information. Now, I think, if you've got a small business, you're not going to get as much out of this. It really depends. But I think the more you grow, something like this becomes essential. You can track, here we go, gross revenue, net revenue, discounts, fees. I think the larger a business becomes, the more it relies on stats, information, basically data, just looking at where your sales are coming from. And this is where stats become really important so that you can look at the bigger picture. So that is the most expensive extension, but depending on your business, it could actually be the most useful depending on how you're using your CRM. Now, if you're going to be buying extensions, don't buy them all individually because there are some deals. And really, they're very, very fairly priced. I really can't complain at the way these are priced. So you've got the freelancer one. Okay, I'll just give you a quick overview. Freelancer, $99 per year, 5 extensions, basic support, single site license, and all of the plans get access to Slack community and 12-month support and updates. You go to the Entrepreneur bundle, $199, you get access to all 17 extensions, so that will save you a huge amount of money, and you get upgraded to priority support. The reseller one, the main difference is that you get 10 website licenses for support and updates, and you can rebrand it, pass things off as if the CRM was your own. Now, even at the basic bundle, if you look at these ones here, most of these options here are like $39, $49, and the mail campaigns one is $79. So, I mean, if you're going to be buying even just one of these, it makes sense to upgrade to the freelancer bundle and making that saving because you're getting hundreds and hundreds of dollars of extensions. The Entrepreneur bundle, you're getting all 17 extensions. You're going to save a huge amount of money. So, granted, don't buy anything you don't need. If you think that you only need 1 extension or 2 extensions, and that's all you'll ever need, but chances are, if you are buying 2 extensions, you're probably going to be more than $99 anyway. And the extensions that are included in the freelancer bundle are pretty good. The ones that I think most people would use, for example, PayPal, syncing from WooCommerce, sending out emails, collecting information through forums, and sending out invoices and charging people. I mean, it's got everything you need for your business, really. So I think that's really good. I think the bundles are quite good, and they've not just thrown in some of the cheaper ones there and try to pass it off as a good bundle. They've actually looked at what people would need, what businesses would need to get going. So I know they've got the most popular one there, and I can see why it is, but I think the freelancer one there is tremendous value for money as well. So I recommend checking that out. So to find out more about this, go to zerobscrm.com. I have prepared an article which I explain how it works, and this video will be attached to that article. So please do check that out as well. As I said, I haven't used this on a live website, so take that for what it is, but I haven't found any bugs whilst testing it in my test area. I didn't find any in the demo that they set up for me. Seems to work really well. I know this is just kind of dummy data that I've got in here, but it does seem to work really well. Again, check this out for yourself. Don't take my word for this. If you test it out, you might think it's amazing, or you might think it sucks because it doesn't do what you need. But the fact that it's free to download, the core version is, and then you can just pick and choose your extensions. You might not even need an extension if it does everything you need. So If you've got a business, if you manage customers, if you manage invoices and send out quotes to customers, check this out. It is a very, very good solution, very versatile, lots of great features. And if you're looking for a CRM and looking not to spend a huge amount of money, or even if you just want to, get more control over your own data, because there's a lot to be said about controlling all your data yourself instead of using an external service. You can back your data up, you can keep backups, and you're not going to rely on another service doing all that. There's a lot of benefits to using this. Please try it out and see what you think about it. Let me know what you think about it in the comment area below. If you've got any questions, please do leave a comment. But if you've got any serious questions about how it applies to your business, I'm not going to say that I could answer it for you because, I can't. What I do is recommend is give them an email, ask them your questions, and I'm sure they'll get back to you and let you know whether they think they can provide a good solution for you and your business. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do comment, please do like and share and all that good stuff. And until next time, take care.